Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. This is Harry from Hasper TV, and I'm back with another video. So of course it's the international break, so right now I'm actually much quite bored. I heard Madison did some bits for England the other day, which is great to see. But today I'm going to talk about Richarlison and Heung-min Son. And I feel like I've actually done a video about this actually last season at some point, in some shape or form. Richarlison versus Son has been a debate for Spurs fans for the past 2 years, really, since Richarlison joined. Coupled with the fact that Son, let's just be honest, he didn't have a good season last season, even though at the end he got like a few more goals than people might have expected. And obviously Son's dip in form and decline last season, and Richarlison's lack of chances last season, I'd argue, especially when you're stuck on the right, has come coupled with another debate now, because obviously Richarlison and Son are now playing the same position now as a striker. Last game, Son played up front, scored a hat-trick. The game before that, Richarlison scored a headed goal from a Perisic assist in the cup. But of course, Richarlison didn't play the next game, and Son started up front. Now, the Richarlison versus Son debate kind of reminds me of when it was like Keane versus Defoe, except I think Keane versus Defoe was more the fact that people were frustrated because Defoe was always offside, and kind of ironic about the mirroring here and there. And Robbie Keane's case is just that for me, Keane and Berbatov were probably a better partnership than Defoe and Berbatov, but that kind of leads me on to my points. So Richarlison versus Son's been debated for a long time, and it's caused like a massive division in terms of like whose side you want, Richarlison's or Son's. But for me, I'm of the belief you just play whoever's on form. So if Son's on form, you play Son's on form. If Richarlison's on form, you play Richarlison instead. Especially now, like I said, they're playing up front as well, both of them. And it seems like it's one or the other. And I'm of the belief that, like Defoe and Keane, who very rarely play together, I think maybe they did in like 5-10 games over the course of like 3-4 years at Spurs, Defoe and Keane. They couldn't really seem to play together, and I do think Richarlison and Son, from what I've seen so far, they don't seem to be able to play together, especially, like I said, with Son's decline last season. Son, for me, on the left-hand side is nowhere near as good as he was 2-3 years ago under Poch. Richarlison on the left, he's not as effective, I'd argue. He's obviously saw for Brazil up front, he was like a beast. And Son, like I said, coupled with his decline, and I think coupled with his loss of pace due to age, he kind of has to play in the middle now. So this is why the debate is kind of blown up again this season. And we're only 4 games in. Well, okay, so these are my takes on it. So Son and Solomon obviously played the last game together, and I think Solomon is a better, let's just use the word just for sake here, partner for Son. If you watch Son's goals, a lot of them were low through balls or low passes, or, keeping the ball on the floor. Another argument was level last season that Perisic can't play with Son. Now, albeit it was a different formation and Son was playing further in and Perisic was playing further wide under Conte as a wing-back, people just argue Perisic can't play with Son. Now, in that system, I don't think that's really the case, because they don't really take each other's space up. Perisic, if anything, putting balls in, you at least had Kane on the end of them. Son kind of tucked inside more than maybe he should have. They didn't seem to have any sort of understanding. But I'd even argue in this system, Perisic and Son won't work as a partnership either. Mainly based on the fact that Perisic likes to play high balls. And as we saw midweek with Perisic, when Richarlison were playing together, Perisic was playing balls quite high, which obviously didn't always move Richarlison's head, apart from the goal, but he was a better fit for Richarlison. And I don't think Perisic and Son can really play together in this system. If you're going to have a Perisic, who's going to play high balls, unless you're playing cross shots is not the right word, but crosses, pullbacks, that's the word, yeah, pullbacks across with Perisic or with anyone else. I think Son and Perisic can really play together in the system, because I think Perisic is a better pairing for Richarlison at the moment. If you're going to play Richarlison, I'd just stick Perisic on the left, and whoever plays on the right, which is another debate for another day, probably another video maybe this week, because there's no games till next Saturday. So I would argue that Perisic plays better with Richarlison. I think that's a better pairing. And then you play Solomon, who I think, from what I've seen so far, plays a lot better down the left. Play him with Son when Son's playing, and then obviously Richarlison with Perisic when Richarlison and Perisic are playing. So those are the partnerships I'd go with. Now, obviously, there's going to be scenarios where they both might have to play together when we're chasing a game to go like a 4-4-2, and then you'd kind of use Son as like the, again, I'm going to refer to like an old player, keen sort of player where he'll play like as a free role, and then Richarlison would be like the target man. If you played 4-4-2 with Son and Richarlison, that's how I would do it anyway. But I think this debate will rage on. But in my opinion, you just play, like I said, whoever's on form. It's arguable that against the taller sides, you probably go Richarlison and Perisic because they are both taller than Son and Solomon, I'd say. Off the right-hand side, obviously you've got Porro, who's playing right back right now, who will put crosses in regardless. And he does like a low and a high cross. I don't think he has a really persistent one either way. And obviously Kulusevski right now is coming inside. Johnson might be an option down the right now. And maybe he'll be the kind of player that can unlock them both if either of them play, if Son or Richarlison play. But again, I haven't seen enough of Johnson to say that. And also, he's coming to a new team with higher expectations, even though right now I would play Johnson with Kulusevski. And that will probably be something about my next video about Johnson, because I do think right now he has a very good chance to start. So yeah, just to close it off, this debate, like I said, will rage on. And to conclude, it's not like I prefer either one. I just think Son's long-term longevity in the game now is going to be in the middle, and Richarlison's longevity at Tottenham is going to have to be through the middle. So naturally, you're going to have to play either of them, unless you're going to play a 4-4-2, which, like I alluded to earlier, would mean one of them playing a more of a free role, one of them as a target man, and we kind of know which one will be which. So yeah, Richarlison versus Son debate started again, and I think it's going to carry on. And I just hate, just to end this up, I just hate the division it caused on the fan base, because it's just not needed. The Keane versus Defoe debate did cause, again, back in the day, it's the only one I can allude it to really, did cause some sort of division. I was, like, again, more of a Defoe fan than Keane, but they're both great players. I just prefer Defoe because I just like his style more. Keane, to me, is a bit, I don't think it was a bit, what's the word? He had the best celebration, though. Just a bit more relaxed, I guess. Defoe was more just aggressive, I guess, in his play. That's probably why I prefer Defoe. And people arguing on Twitter, oh, you'll defend Richarlison over Son. That's not the case. It's just that Son for me was rubbish last season, but Richarlison, I don't think got a fair shot playing down the right. But now they're playing in the same position. I mean, if people want to have this debate about who's better, I'd rather not, because I think it depends on the opposition. And again, it depends who's on form. If Richarlison's not scoring, then don't play Richarlison. If Son's not scoring, then I wouldn't play Son. I don't care what Son's done in the past 2-3 years, because at the end of the day, like I said, he's not the same player he was. So he's adapting to a new style and a new system. And I think, as we saw last game, if you cater to him with Solomon, then you get the best out of him. But again, if you cater to Richarlison and Perisic, you'll probably get the best out of Richarlison. So here we go. Anyway, Harry's out, and I hope you enjoy your week. Take care. All right, close.